with that. So what do you need to prepare for? It's entirely contingent on how many people you have, the age of the people, the nature of the people, and what you're doing. For example, I used to be stationed with our helicopter service when we had one at drag boat races. Like, there weren't many spectators, there weren't that many participants, but you knew that sooner or later something really bad was going to happen and you had to have somebody there to take care of it. For most gatherings, the worst thing that's going to happen is somebody's going to have a coronary or a cardiac arrest, and that's usually the baseline thing that you need to prepare for. On the other hand, depending on the event, you've got about 100% chance, if you're at the California Raceway, of having people have heat illness and dehydration problems, or in any hot venue, like a rock concert in the summer. And you just need to think about what you're going to prepare for in those ways. Large events, people have actually set up mini hospitals for rehydration therapy and so forth. To do, what do you provide to tend to the people that are going to become ill? And the baseline, again, is to provide some capability of resuscitating a person who has a cardiac event. And that generally means having a defibrillator and someone who knows how to use it. There are a lot of rules surrounding this kind of stuff. The kind of personnel that are usually provided at events in general, for events ranging from a few hundred to a few thousand people, generally the people are either paramedics or EMT1s with special training, or nurses who are working on protocols that are provided by a medical director who usually is not there. The next thing that's needed is a station, a first aid station, which needs to be somewhere out of sight but convenient and has running water and something that flushes. And so that's pretty much a requirement. The third thing, if you have a large number of people or a big venue, is to provide what you might call spotters or roamers. That's people who are either stationed at particular parts of the venue to look for trouble happening and respond to it and communicate. That's the other part of what you need to provide, is, was said a minute ago, good communications. And then the people, the staff, to deal with it, as I said before, and the equipment that they need, which can range all the way from an AED on the wall that any passerby can use to a full-bore paramedic operation with emergency drugs and intravenous equipment and so forth. And the question then becomes, how do you do this? How do you prepare for all this? And the best answer is that you hire a vendor to do it. Or if you have a venue that has its own medical director, that venue may hire a group to do it, and they may do it in cooperation with, again, at Dodger Stadium, for example, they have their own medical director and a medical team. And the people who are there to actually do the transporting and to respond to the events are employees of a vendor that they bring in.